So I know that I hate paying for things that I can get for free. You probably don't like paying for things that you can get for free. So we're going to talk about how to get some free books. Some of these will be for kids, some will be for adults, but they're all free. Hey everyone, welcome to Fiction Books for Fun. I am Dr. Scott Bland. I'm a family physician. I am not an expert on books. I am just a fan. And one of the things that I find super important is to make sure that we push literacy for kids. So a lot of these resources are going to be ones that work for children. And I think that it's important for us as adults to not give up on our imagination as well. So I think that some of these resources will be really useful to you. The other thing I want to mention, when we start talking about free books, in the universe of the internet, there are a lot of people out there who are downloading things for free that are coming from sites that don't have the author's permission to use them. I think that it is important to let folks who are trying to get proper compensation for their work get it. The resources that I'm talking about are places where either charities are covering the costs of the books for some of the children, or the authors have donated them for free and allowed them to be used, or they are such literary classics that they've reached the realm of common use, and the only real thing that's being used that's given to you for free is the process of cataloging them and making them available for downloading. So I want you to think a little bit about making sure that creators are fairly compensated for their work when we do this, but these are some ways that I believe are probably going to provide you some options to get access to some free books in an ethical way that allows the creators to be compensated appropriately. So let's get started. Okay, so the first free book resource that I want to talk about is one that stems from the fact that I happen to be a doctor and I get to give books to kids at all of their well child visits because we take part in the first resource we're going to talk about today, the Reach Out and Read program. So I'll put the link down below so that you can find that. The Reach Out and Read program allows pediatricians and family medicine doctors to hand kids books at their wellness visits. The Literacy Project actually mentions that the ratio of books in a middle income neighborhood is 13 books for every kid. The ratio in a low income neighborhood for books per child is 1 book for every 300 kids. So one of the things that this really helps us do is help close that gap, because it doesn't matter what that kid makes, it doesn't matter what their parents make, it doesn't matter what neighborhood they live in. If they come to a Reach Out and Read participating family physician or pediatrician, they get a free book multiple times. Every time they come in for a well child visit between the age of 6 months and 5 years old, they leave with a book. And I think that's a great thing. You could use that site to find a doctor's office that participates in the Reach Out and Read program. You can also get some information to give to your doctor's office if they're not already participating. It's a really great thing, and it's a really great way to produce literacy in a whole new generation of kids. The next resource also happens to be for kids. This one is not attached to a physician's office. You just have to live in a region that has a charity that is sponsoring that region. This is the Imagination Library. This is Dolly Parton's charity. Dolly Parton will have someone send your kid a book every year for their birthday, and this is all completely free. There is a tool on the site where you can see if there's a sponsoring charity in your area. You sign up and they just start sending your kid free books. It's a great thing that you can do for grandchildren, for nieces, nephews. You can start making sure that all the children in your extended family, friends, neighbors, that they all start getting books every year and start developing a love for reading. This is a really great thing. I've suggested this to a lot of people that I know, and it's been pretty good for them so far. So check it out. That's the Imagination Library with Dolly Parton. The next resource is Project Gutenberg. This one will work for adults as well as for children. This is an online free ebook repository. They have 60,000 books. You can go ahead and just show up, start downloading books and read them. They have a lot of the classics, the books that have become common use, and there's also some other lesser known topics and lesser known titles in there. Obviously with 60,000 books, you've got a lot to choose from. It's worth checking out. All you need is an internet connection, and you can start downloading books through Project Gutenberg for free. The next one gets back to a kids resource specifically, but the reason I really like this one is because this one has a lot of languages available. So this is the International Children's Digital Library. They've got all sorts of free books. There are things that focus a little bit on different cultures. There's obviously the huge benefit of those who aren't particularly strong in the English language. And I think that this is a thing that you can really use to beef up your kid's library at home. Again, just an internet connection, and your kid can start reading some free books. Another website with a lot of free books to download, manybooks.net. They've got many different genres. This one works for all ages as well. You can have adults and kids here, so this is a great one that isn't just kid specific. But again, this is a great resource for you to get some free books online, manybooks.net. Another great one that is an interesting way to get some free books and an interesting way to share some free books. These are going to be hard copy books. This is My Little Libraries. I did not know that this one existed until I happened to see one nearby in my neighborhood. And there's a whole map where you can figure out where there's locations for the My Little Libraries. And really, this is nothing more than, hey, we have a little display outside of a participating location, and everyone can roll by and just drop off free books, and anybody can roll by and pick up free books. So the selection might be interesting. You never really know what's going to be in there. So this is a great way for you to share books with those who live in your area without having to chase down individual people and arrange meetings and come in close contact. You can leave a book, you can borrow a book, you can bring a book back. It's a great thing. It's Little Libraries, and we'll put the links down below so that you can find one that is near you, hopefully. The next one you might want to check out that might be a little bit different than some of the ones I've mentioned before is Free Children's Stories. So this one seems to focus a little bit more on originals. So these will be topics for authors who are starting to put things out. This will not be your standard classics necessarily that you might find in some of the other references that I've mentioned. But this is another opportunity for you to check it through. Parents, again, always you want to curate what your kids are getting into, but it might be a good resource for you to come up with some new content. If you happen to be a writer, this might be a great way to see what other people are putting out, get some inspiration, and a great chance for you to maybe support some new authors. The last way to get access to free books is the oldest. Let's just go to an actual physical library. I know that since coronavirus has come out that there's probably not a lot of you who've been to the physical libraries. They're probably really, really empty right now. Unfortunately, a lot of municipalities are having trouble actually supporting their libraries financially. So some of them are starting to close down, but a lot of us still live in neighborhoods that have access to physical libraries. So those are places that you can go and find all sorts of books to read for free, and then just return and get another book. I don't think that this is something that may be a little old-fashioned. It's not as easy as downloading stuff for free off like an ebook from like the Project Gutenberg or something, but this is a really great option, and you can often find some really interesting stuff there if you'll just spend a little time in the aisle before you leave. So I hope you found these resources useful. Please comment down below. Let me know your reactions, your impressions as you check some of these out. Did you know about these? Are there other ones that you think deserve a little bit of promotion that I need to know about? Let's go ahead and share these with each other, and let's help promote some literacy, help support some learning, and for real, try and think about some kids or some neighborhoods or some areas near you that some children might benefit from these books, because I think that developing a gift for learning and providing access to literature and reading for kids is really, really, really important. Thanks.